Rashee Rice. Now, I know I made a Justin Ross video and a Rashee Rice video yesterday talking about what the duo was going to do and what to expect from them from the upcoming season. But now I'm coming back to y'all with another Rashee Rice video. We're going to be going over what I didn't go over the first time I made the video. So after this Rashee Rice video, I will be dropping a Justin Ross video tomorrow. But what I have to talk about is what Rashee Rice is doing, right? What he's doing and what he brings to the table for the Kansas City Chiefs, and why the NFL is really nervous about it. Now, we know that Rashee Rice is a very physical player, as I spoke about that in my last video. Him being 6'1" with a very good frame and yard after catch ability, it was a perfect scenario for Brett Veach and the Kansas City Chiefs, because they drafted him based off scheme fit, right? We know that's how Veach drafts. He drafts based off scheme fit. And Rashee Rice was the perfect scheme fit. Very good yard after catch ability. He's a solid route runner. His hands is, a lot of people say his hands is bad, but I do think that if he has quote-unquote bad hands, he still is a very good contested catcher, and he makes a lot of acrobatic catches. But his main ability, like I said, is yard after catch. We know the Kansas City Chiefs, they prioritize the yard after catch with Travis Kelce, stuff like that. Rashee Rice is funny because he reminds me of Travis Kelce, even though he's a wide receiver. He kind of reminds me of Travis Kelce, the way he catches the ball in a short area and then he brings it up the field with his yard after catch. That kind of reminds me of what Travis Kelce does for the Kansas City Chiefs. So seeing Rashee Rice do it, it's very good. It's very good to see. And I do believe that he's going to be clutch for the Kansas City Chiefs throughout the season, because you know how it is, man. Juju Smith-Schuster, we needed to replace him with somebody, and I think Rashee Rice could take his role easily with no type of problem at all. I feel like he's going to easily be able to take his role and probably do it even better. Basically, in my last video, what I was talking about is how physical Rashee Rice is and why the Kansas City Chiefs is going to love that. Now, there's no secret that the Kansas City Chiefs love physical wide receivers. Every wide receiver on our team has to be physical. He has to have an ability to get yards after catch, even the tight ends. And I'm going to be making a video on Justin Ross as well, because I have a way that he could really thrive in this offense, and I wonder if Brett Veach not Brett Veach, I keep saying that. I wonder if Andy Reid is gonna let Justin Ross thrive in this certain way that I'm talking about. So I'm definitely gonna make a video on him. And Rashee, man, I feel like he should definitely break the Andy Reid rookie curse. A lot of people say Andy Reid has a curse for wide receivers as rookies because they usually never, ever get more than 1,000 yards. Now, I don't know if Rashee Rice is going to get 1,000 yards, but shoot, I could see him getting at least 500 to 700, 800 yards, because he has the talent. We know he's a talented player. Like I said, that yard after catch ability is something very valuable. And last season, we seen Sky Moore get a lot of looks. Not a lot, but he had chances, and he just didn't capitalize off them chances. So Rashee Rice is like a true outside wide receiver. So I do believe that he's going to get more chances than Sky Moore got last year. And I feel like he's actually going to capitalize off these chances. Like Ross and Rashee is going to come in, and they're going to get a lot of chances to show that they have what it takes to be a wide receiver on this team and be a starting wide receiver on this team. And I feel like once they get those chances and they show that they have what it takes, and then Andy Reid is going to fall in love with them and keep them in the games. Keep them in the games, let them play, let them make plays, and make this team better. Especially when playoff time comes, we know how wide receivers could get injured during the playoffs and stuff like that. So Rashee and Justin Ross are going to most likely need to get their names called up, and I feel like they're going to definitely be able to show that they have what it takes to go out there and just be dominant. Especially Rashee Rice, like I said, because when you have a dude that could turn a 5-yard slant into a 30-yard reception, that's something very valuable. And I'm pretty sure that's why the Kansas City Chiefs drafted him as well, that he has a very good ability to grab contested catches and make acrobatic plays that not too many wide receivers in this class can even make. So If we look at the advanced stats on Rashee Rice, which we're about to do, you'll see that Brett Veach and the Kansas City Chiefs might have just got a draft still. Yeah, man, Rice, like, he's just a very talented player, and I love what he brings to the table for the Kansas City Chiefs. I love how he fits the team perfectly. Like I said, the yard after catch ability is really, really there. And I think his potential is out the roof, man. His potential is out the roof. A lot of people say that Rashee Rice reminds them of DeAndre Hopkins. But I don't know, man. DeAndre Hopkins is a one-of-a-kind type of player. And his hands is honestly on another level that Rashee Rice can't even come close to. But the acrobatic catches, it do show some type of flashes of DeAndre Hopkins and the yard after catch ability and the physicality and the size and the frame. So I understand what they're saying. I mean, Rashee himself said he likes to model his game behind D-Hop. So what I think Rashee is like a Sammy Watkins, though. He reminds me of a Sandy Watkins. I said Sandy. A Sammy Watkins. He reminds me of a Sammy Watkins for sure. And we're about to get into some more things about Rashee. But yeah, man. Rashee Rice coming out of SMU. A lot of people are wondering, is he gonna be the difference? Because he has a strong case for to break the Andy Reid rookie wideout trend. I mean, the rookie wide receiver has been displaying how he could contribute immediately this preseason. That's what he's been doing. And like, everyone has heard the narrative about rookie wide receivers under Andy Reid and how hard it is to crack the lineup as a first-year wideout because of the complex system. McCole Hallman was an exception, but his speed was crazy. He racked up 538 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns in 2019. But then you go to Sky Moore, who only totaled 267 receiving yards. So this season, we got the second-round selection, Rashee Rice, out of SMU, who could be testing this theory. And we have a deep room of wide receivers, but we know Rashee has stood out this preseason, and he's definitely making a case to break the Andy Reid curse. So first, we're going to look at his playmaking from the slot. Rice has lined up in the slot on 65% of his snaps. And that was the highest rate among the first and second team wide receivers, and a stat that may catch some off guard. Now, the reason we're going to get into why that may catch some off guard, but Rashee Rice is measuring in at 6'1", 204 pounds. I mean, he compared his game to All-Pro DeAndre Hopkins, like I said, but you already know I said he's more of like a Sammy Watkins. And I know it doesn't sound like the traditional slot receiver to be that big, but we know that the Chiefs like size in that spot. Juju Smith-Schuster made plays from the slot, and so did Sammy Watkins a few years back, which also adds on to my comparison. And Patrick Mahomes himself even said that Rashee Rice reminds him of Sammy Watkins. And if Mahomes played with Watkins and he says Rashee reminds him, that's a very good sign for Rashee Rice. A lot of people don't realize how good Sammy Watkins was. He just really couldn't stay healthy. And the comparison comes from each of them having a physical skill set, being able to really be effective in open space with enough size to brush off arm tackles, also could explode through seams. And Rice recorded a 1.49 second 10-yard split at the NFL Combine. That's a mark that is in the 93rd percentile for receiver prospects historically. And that's why you've seen the Chiefs get the ball in Rice's hands quickly this preseason. It was a play where they did a quick screen and Rice exploded up the field and he weaved through traffic for a huge gain. And he's also received some jet sweep handoffs and some other quick hitting plays. And on Rice's 2 biggest plays this preseason, he's shown how shifty he could be before and after the catch. Isaiah Simmons, he did him bad on the post corner, and then he put a nasty juke on the safety after one of his slants. And Rice has shown effective wiggle before and after the catch, helping him win on routes. He created more yards after the catch, and on his first play, he fakes an inside route downfield that breaks outside, doing it so quickly that he completely lost his defender in man coverage. And that's something that Rice could do, man. He could use a nasty juke move. It's just his burst and change of direction is very unique for his size, just like it was for Sammy Watkins. And another thing, Rice is the team's receiving leader this preseason. He caught 11 of his 13 targets, turned them into 126 yards. It's crazy, man. His production is really there. His production is there. He shows a lot of toughness at the catch point as well. And I just feel like his involvement is a great sign, man. Like, he has to be more involved. He has to be involved this season. So basically what I'm trying to say, it's easy to overlook Rice as an impactful player this year because he has to compete with so much other people for playing time. On top of that, he's a rookie in the Chiefs a rookie in the Chiefs system. And Rice has done everything right on the field this preseason to really reverse that trend. But if he continues to just show these skills against harder competition, it will be impossible to keep him out of the regular rotation, just like it will be impossible to keep Justin Ross out. And I'm going to be doing a video on him tomorrow. It's me, your boy Chiefs Priority, and I'm out. Peace.